Hey guys! I want to take this opportunity to thank you all once more for the support you give me by purchasing works from the collection Grimoire Goetia, in which I created a lengthy sequence with the names of 72 demons, as well as the collection Grimorium Verum Carpe Nicrum, which contains more than 100 names of other ones mentioned in my videos about just the names of some demons. It really is a lot of material. Enough and left over for you to set up your left-hand coven, grotto, sect or even religion. I also want to express my gratitude to everyone who chooses to read my electronic books while they are borrowed in Kindle Unlimited. Although it may appear as though we authors have little to gain from this, please remember that the more people that rent electronic books read them, the more money we get from your reading. Of course, if you borrow it and return it unread, neither you nor the author will benefit, in my case. Now that I have started converting the smaller printed books already published to electronic books, these electronic books are already available to be able to borrow these new electronic books in the Kindle Unlimited model. And you can keep them in your Kindle reader until the end of the year to return along with others by other authors. Thus, before buying my electronic or printed books, as well as those of other authors, you will be able to get to know the material, read it for later. If you like it, then you buy it, and the good thing is that Kindle Unlimited only has a limit to put 20 electronic books in your account, but infinite when you return one and borrow another. Now you can get my books exclusively through KDP, and the books of many other writers through Amazon by paying a set monthly charge for access to their works as well, in my case. Now that I've begun converting the smaller printed books already published to ebooks, these ebooks are already available to borrow these new ebooks in the Kindle Unlimited model. And you can keep them in their Kindle reader until they return it along with other books from other authors. Consequently, before purchasing my ebooks or printed books, as well as those of other writers, people will be able to familiarize themselves with the material. Read it for later, and if you like it, you will purchase it. The good news is that you may borrow an unlimited number of ebooks from Kindle Unlimited after you return the first 20 you've borrowed, of course, paying once the existing monthly charge a fixed fee for a new month once the current one ends and purchase a new month to borrow new ebooks. Moreover, keep in mind that the monthly charge is just for new ebooks, which may be read for as long as necessary before being returned. But let's go. This video today is short, continuing with the expansion of the electronic book on pathworking for the Abramelin standard, both in Portuguese, Spanish and English. So now a new, unprecedented activity is for you to enjoy even more the practical pathworking material that you have already acquired, as proposed in the electronic book, here at the Chaos Magic Time. Today the pathworking will be about the one in Code 4.01, which the ebook or printed book shows how to use. But first, I would like to consider an issue that is taken lightly by people, both practitioners of magic and some people who work in the field of psychology or psychiatry. How can pathworking help people? Although I tried to explain in the ebook/book about the countless reasons why pathworking can be very useful for you, it is important to demystify this so that it is no longer seen as something just mystical or crazy. Faced with the habit in our society of labeling everything it does not understand, the more dogmas people are blind to establishing what is right, the worse the results. Scientific studies clarify many doubts, including what can cure or kill us, faced with what happened to chemicals. It has become much more important today to analyze all the colors of risks in our chemical evolution than to look at the reality of tragedies only in a dual form, black and white. This implies approaching all shades of all colors not according to our values, but according to the results of their applications or uses. Of course, the interpretation of all cases requires a basis in our values, but we need to stick to the facts before we pack this or that solution just in labels, in stripes. Could you cite an example? A very difficult example to accept are the derivatives of that green social problem used by many people addicted in its natural form, but medicine has extracted its non-addictive and non-drug essence to alleviate the situation of people with Parkinson's syndrome. So pathworking is only for clinical cases? No. No way. This interpretation would be an explicit declaration that all people are sick, as it is a resource available to all people who know how to interpret the action and reaction of things, thus, these solutions pointed out here. Also in the example, were derived from a lot of study and reflections on the results of this raw material extract, not on any judgment. In this case, the results, yes, pass judgment, but they could only be made after professional scrutiny analyzing the data. And not my prejudgments or anyone else who does not approve of the release of the narcotic raw material, even because there are already too many drugs diverted from their medical purposes for misuse all over the world. So using the raw material that is naturally harmful to the whole is very delicate, so pathworking helps all people in any level of emotional and mental situation. In these and other of our personal decisions of what posture we will take in this cited case and in others that you find yourself in a doubtful position, mainly, because we all have personal positions that can be distinct on this topic or any other. Just as it is the most normal thing possible to be in a dubious position about something, we also need to live peacefully even with our differences of opinion on many things to arrive at the best attitudes on all topics, as long as we respect the rules that the law imposes on everyone and all. So this new activity that I will pass on to you so that we can develop our analyses on any topic today is unprecedented in the ebook and in the book, Abramelin Pathworking Magic. I named it, Strong Roots. In the same way as farmers who have some form of agricultural extraction in fruit harvesting, people who live in cities more focused on trade than food production have the same procedure related to their work, just as fruit trees need to put down roots in order to bear fruit. So hardworking people need to make their names take root in the companies that finance them in order to guarantee their own establishment, just as when fruits fall from trees they sow multiplication. The knowledge of hardworking people acquired and transmitted is the same way of multiplying their fruits on new trees. Perhaps we could symbolize the fruits of the companies themselves internally as in the branches, or at the same time in the suppliers, so. This pathworking is aimed at those who work on contract in companies, as well as farmers working in fruit harvesting, when it is necessary to establish strong roots in the place that both cases seek to solidify their positions in the company. Or literally the people farmers need to multiply the harvest, or prevent any problems from reducing it. How do you practice, for your interest? This answer you will get as you practice the pathworking with the daemon in code 4.0.1 to know in your circumstances what and how you can achieve success in this purpose. That's it folks, this video was short, but finally, anyone who can help me abroad by also acquiring the ritual booklets. They are pocket-sized notebooks with blank or lined pages related to Goetia to keep writings exclusively on magic, while at the same time, portal to pathworking on the cover itself, so they already offer resources for your activities in this pattern. Just look for Notebook and Tesla D. Murbox, these pocket books, each on the cover with the sigil of one of the 72 demons of Goetia. So thank you for your presence and I wish you a great week. Hugs, went.